everyone. So you'll notice that my background is very different. I'm back home for the summer, which is very exciting, though it does mean that I have no motivation to do anything. I think I've racked up almost 40 hours on this one video game my brother has, and I've played a whole lot of Pokemon, and I need to be productive. So here I am! Today I'm going to talk about, I think I have 5 things. I have 5 things I wish I had known in high school. I was thinking about this because I just finished my first year of college, and graduation season is coming up for everyone. For my siblings, school gets out in just about a month, so it's, I think, on everyone's minds, and I was like thinking about how much I have learned since high school, even just in this year. And I was talking to a really good high school friend the other day, and we had such a good, genuine, vulnerable conversation, and it was really good, and it gave me a lot of food for thought. And I was just like, wow, I wish I had been this open and this honest and this vulnerable with my friends while I was in high school. I wish I'd had these really deep, meaningful conversations and connections with them, but I just didn't have that. So I was thinking, wow, what do I wish I had known in high school? So my bullet points are roughly half and half. Half is like the social side of high school, and the other part is the work part of high school. And high school is by no means a binary experience. There's more than that. There's also, extracurriculars. Even though my bullet points focus on these 2 categories, it doesn't mean that your experience is fully encompassed by this. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. So first, I wish I had known that vulnerability is the path to connection, and I'm still meaning to make a video about Brené Brown and how much I love her, and just everything, and all of her research and her philosophies is just all so good. But I wish I had known that, building up a wall so people couldn't get in and see the real me, who I thought and who I often still think is very flawed. I was like, oh, I don't want people to see all of me, the real me, because then I'm not going to, they're not going to like me. And I wish I had known that that wasn't true, and that people would love me so much more for being genuine and authentic and vulnerable, and that in turn my vulnerability would open up the path for them to be vulnerable. I wish I had known that, because I think that could have helped a lot with my friend's situation. Going off that, number 2, friends come and go, but I had this one friend, and she basically unfriended me in real life, and then I was just kind of distraught for, definitely the whole summer, most of the next year. I tried having a boyfriend for a month because he liked me, and he had liked me for a long time, and I was like, everyone was like, hey, you would be super cute together, and I'm like, yeah. So I dated him, but I didn't actually have any interest in him, which, makes me kind of sad, because he's just the cutest, sweetest guy. I don't think he's ever done anything wrong in his life. Honestly, wow, he's a sweetheart. But, I didn't have a crush on him, and that was really hard. But it's I'm like, oh, let's fill this void that my best friend left. But, I wish I'd known that friends would come and go. And while I was in the part of a friend going, other friends would come in, and eventually, I became much closer with the other friends in that group. There were a group of 4 of us, and then she left, so there were only 3 of us. I became so much closer with these 2. So, I just wish I had learned not to focus so much on the going and more on the coming. So I wish I had, remember that new friends do come. And as I transitioned to college, I was so worried, because I was like, I have no friends coming to college with me, and I have social anxiety, and I'm introverted. How am I ever going to make new friends? But then I made amazing friends within the first week, and it was just, it was so awesome. And I made those friends because we sat down and we were just all being very vulnerable with each other, despite having only known each other for a few days. And, they became my best friends. It's not the end of the world if you lose one friend, because as you grow older, I think you become so much better at connecting and hopefully being vulnerable and making new friends, because you've learned from all your past experiences and relationships, using the term relationships loosely, not necessarily indicating a romantic relationship. But you've learned from all your past experiences and all your past relationships, so you can move on and create even better ones with a good foundation. But continuing on, I'll restart from point 3. you do not need a romantic relationship in your life. You really don't. You're 14 to 18, and this is a time when you should be focusing on yourself. And I had a whole rant going in the other video before it ran out of space and stopped my video. But, like, you need to focus on loving yourself. And besides high school, like, yes, it's partly about making friends, but you're also there to prepare for college or trade school or a job or whatever comes next for you after your high school experience. And, like, if you can find a good relationship and you're in it for you and because you and the other person, like, you really do care for each other, then, like, good for you. But if you're not in a relationship, if you're single, then, and you're not happy about it, then is it actually no big deal. And I don't mean to invalidate your feelings, because I had the same feelings, like, no one loves me, why won't anyone date me? Like, I get it, girl, we've all been there. You don't need that romantic relationship, and there's other more important things in high school, and I think your time is much better spent working on yourself and learning to love yourself. And I really wish I had done that in high school, but instead of getting wrapped up in my friends' drama and in my own drama, and I wish I had spent more time taking care of my mental and emotional health and learning to love myself rather than, obsessing over boys, as much fun as that is. I wish I had taken me time, which leads me into point number 4. Taking breaks is important. I did the International Baccalaureate Diploma program, which is really intense. You probably know AP. It's like AP, but on steroids, and I took so many tests May of my senior year. Oh my goodness. It's very important to take time for yourself and to be happy and to get your stuff done and taken care of. And yes, you have to, like, do all the things and meet all your deadlines, but, like, if you don't take care of your mental health, in the long run, you are going to be so much worse for the wear. And I think because I didn't really know this in high school as much, I had a really rough time with it coming to college, and I would push myself so hard, and then I would have absolutely nothing to do, and I didn't even take challenging enough classes, so I couldn't push myself hard. But it's like I didn't know how to, like, sit down and take a break and, like, actually, like, be having a break instead of, sitting and mindlessly scrolling through Instagram or Pinterest or social media feed of choice, insert here. I didn't know how to take a break, and then I was really bad at coping with it, and I'm still learning how to cope with it. And especially this summer when I don't have a steady job, even though I'm doing, jobs here and there, I just don't have that. But I wish I learned that taking breaks is important, and in the long run it is so much better for your work. And I think teachers are gradually becoming better and better about caring for their students. Like, we no longer live in the 1800s, so that's absolutely wonderful. I probably shouldn't say 1800s, I should say 1900s, because that was a progressive era when education was becoming a big deal. But, like, if you explain to a teacher, hey, I'm under a lot of emotional duress and I can't perform that well right now, can I please have an extension on this one assignment? Then you'll probably be good, and as long as you don't do it for every assignment, like, don't use your mental health as an excuse, then you're fine. Like, your teachers are probably going to be willing to accommodate you. Like, take a deep breath. It is going to be okay. Finally, my bullet point that I have, it says, work hard now to set yourself up for a successful future. And I probably worked a little bit too hard in high school, but I often felt like, am I doing this for nothing? Especially when I didn't get all of my IB credits, because my university does not really accept a ton of those. So they supposedly accepted, like, my bio credits, but it did not actually go through. But it's fine. Whatever, I'm not salty. It's fine, whatever, I'm not salty. But I wish I had known that the hard work I was doing was not just for nothing. Like, it would. Like, it really would carry on. And even though I didn't get all the credits from my IB classes, I developed a fantastic work ethic, and I learned, like, what kind of, like, homework and studying strategies work for me, and I learned how to, like, take good notes, because in my high school sometimes you had to take a specific style of notes, and it was gross and I hated it. But now I know how to, like, take notes for, class XYZ, and I know, like, what classes not to take notes for. Like, for example, I learned that for some classes I would do so much better if I just have a problem and I work through it and I annotate what I did so I see the problem solving process. And other ones I was like, oh yes, I do so great in this class if I take notes and highlight the key terms and then write a summary at the end, and then it, you know, really prepares me for the test and I do great that way. But, you know, the hard work you are doing now is not a waste of time, and I would encourage you to work hard in high school. And even if you don't do a full load of IB classes, if you take AP classes or IB classes or honors classes or whatever at your high school, it will definitely prepare you for college. And I was actually really surprised when the classes I came to in college were so much easier than my high school classes were. Like, because I didn't get my IB Lang and Lit credits, I had to take Writing 150 at my school, which was honestly probably one of the easiest English classes I've ever taken. Like, we spent a whole day on comma placements. This is a classroom of teenagers, and the youngest one was actually like 16 or 17. He came to college early, but like 17 to like 21. We should all know how commas work. Yeah, but you know, if you do those hard classes in high school, you are going to be prepared for college classes, and you are going to be pleasantly surprised that some of them are easier than you expected. And, you know, if you're not a huge academic person, like, do what else you need to do to get it done, I guess. Like, you know, I took a full range of academic stuff, but you could specialize in, like, drama and performing arts and all that stuff if you're going to go into the performing arts. So really, high school is a customizable experience to an extent, and if you work hard, then it will set you up really well for your future, I think. And, you know, in closing, I just want to say thank you for listening to me, and I will edit this down so it's not 20 minutes of film, but thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck with the rest of your school year, or, you know, your senior year, wherever you may be. So thank you so much. See you later.